to get underway right about now, in fact, for the individual group final. 8 athletes through to the final. The top athlete in qualifying, Brianna Kalin from Bulgaria. Athletes will be introduced now. There's your start list. Daria Atamanov from Israel will be first to go. Qualified in 8th place. And she makes her way onto the floor now. She qualified in 2nd place, I should say.
Well, after a little bit of a difficult start, she really managed to refocus and really pulled it back in the latter part of that performance. Always difficult when you lose the apparatus so early on. And I was very, very impressed with the way that she picked it up and carried on as if she hadn't made that slight error at first. I thought the overall performance was very strong. Obviously not exactly what she would have wanted, but there was some really good difficulty in it. She showed good control overall, just slightly losing it there, and that's such a shame. But this was absolutely stunning with the hoop going right through the body, which is important. And she showed really good poise and control on a lot of the movements. Again, just needed to keep a little bit more control of the apparatus on this particular occasion, which that sometimes is the way that it goes. But she's certainly a tremendous competitor. She won 5 medals at the recent European Championships, so she's very experienced indeed. And even took a gold medal in the hoop, actually, at the World Cup in Athens earlier this year as well. So plenty of experience, and sometimes it goes your way, sometimes maybe not quite as much as you want it to. But that's the sport for you. The difficulty judges look at the difficulty of what you do with the apparatus, as well as the difficulty of what you're doing with your body as well. Look behind at the training area, so they all go through their final paces before they walk out the front.
So the score 31.4. Execution a little down, of course, but she showed good composure after losing the apparatus so early in the routine. Next onto the floor, representing Slovenia, Ekaterina Vedeniva, 28 years old, very experienced competitor. Now based out of Ljubljana, capital of Slovenia. Did compete at Tokyo 2020 as well.
A real contrast in the style of music, so balletic in her moves, such beautiful classical music, all very controlled indeed, with some beautiful, beautiful attitudes, some of the movements that we'll see, which I'll maybe show you in a minute. But what I liked about it was the composure, the artistry was really quite exquisite as we look at the back attitude there, just so centered. Very, very difficult to throw the hoop as high as she did, but know exactly where it's going to land. And if they catch apparatus, other parts of their body, that helps with the difficulty as well. Look at the front attitude. Some beautiful split leaps. Absolutely stunning. Lovely, lovely control.
Well, Andrea, you used the word I was about to use there. She had control. She had magnificent control over the apparatus throughout the whole routine. All very, very composed. So lovely. Working with the music. It was a beautiful routine from the Slovenian athlete. Giving it much away on the sofa. Get the scores now from the judges and into top spot. 32.9 on that small penalty there. So next on to the floor from Italy, Sofia Raffaelli, 18-year-old from Ancona in Italy. Just being introduced to the crowd now. Third at the World Championships in 2021 in Japan in the hoop.
Vai bambino, vai vedrai, vai vedrai, vai vedrai che un sorriso nasconde spesso un gran dolore, vai vedrai follia, dall'uomo senza paura, vai, follia. Vedrai che un sorriso nasconde spesso un gran dolore, vai vedrai foglia dell'uomo.
Beautiful, graceful, emotional. A lovely, lovely performance there from Sophie Raffaelli. She only made her international debut last year. She's only 18 years of age. She's already European champion and took a bronze at the World Championships last year. She really is an exceptional gymnast. I was watching her at the World Cup earlier this year, Pesaro. She won the gold in the all-around. Very, very talented indeed. I love the way she uses her body and the speed that she gets there and the unusual little movements that she does to add a little bit of variety. Arch in the back, the hand positions always beautiful. Showed up nicely there on the ring. always seemed very much in control, using different parts of the body to catch the hoop and move the hoop forward, which really does help with the difficulty score.
Big things ahead for this young athlete from Italy, and as you were saying, Andrea, only made her debut in 2021 and already has a CV of some very impressive results, and more to come as well, I'm sure, from Sofia Raffaelli from Italy. Bedineva from Slovenia leads 32.9. Tamanov from Israel in second place right now, and magical routine there from Raffaelli. It's over to the judges right now. Andrea, slightly longer wait here for the mark from the judges.
Yes, with the anticipation going. She scored 33.950 in qualifying, in third place. I was about to say she looks a little bit anxious, but then the smile came on her face. Lovely smile. Looks a lot more relaxed. As we see the scores here, and that is indeed good enough to put her in first place at the moment, 34.350, so quite an increase on her qualification score.
Big step forward from qualifying from Sofia Raffaelli, 34.350, and she's got to watch the next 5 competitors to see if she will hold on to a medal. Next onto the floor, Victoria Onoprienko, 18-year-old from Kyiv in Ukraine.
And now I'll rise above you.
Well, she certainly showed really good amplitude on those lifts. Very, very strong on the leaps. And unfortunately, it wasn't a perfect performance, as I'm sure you noticed as well. Just a couple of little errors when she lost the hoop and some small adjustments having to be made during the performance. So I think she will be a little bit disappointed with that, but always good to get a hug from the coach afterwards. She did have some good difficulty in it though. As I say, the leaps were really quite special indeed. Beautiful extension of the legs and the toes, so important. That was really nicely controlled there. She's a very powerful gymnast. Finished 10th in the all-around at the Olympic Games last year. Currently ranked 8th in the world. with this apparatus. But there was where it went horribly wrong. It didn't go outside of the boundaries though, so that was good. At least it won't be an additional deduction if they go past that line. You'll see as well that there are spare apparatus at the side of the floor. That's just in case they do lose the apparatus and they have to grab another one. Obviously there's deductions, have to do that. But nice to see her smiling, and despite the disappointment.
Yeah, she went for a little bit more risk in that routine. Such a shame. She lost the apparatus a couple of times, and you said, Andrea, she did have to make those adjustments and quick thinking to keep that routine progressing. So not going to challenge, certainly for a top spot, but Onoprienko has to, yeah, she's just given us a little smile there, which is good to see.
She has actually said recently that she really wants to be a risk taker in the sport, and that really shone through, didn't it, Ian, in the performance?
Yeah, it was a performance that she brought a lot of intensity to the floor. Was prepared to take the risks, and that will stand her in good stead in the future. I'm sure a young athlete, of course, just 18 years old.
Used to be a figure skater, and she left because it hurt her quite a lot, so she obviously fell down quite a lot. Well, we're delighted that she moved to rhythmic gymnastics instead.
Absolutely, slightly more forgiving, and a score in. Onoprienko into fourth place. She gets a warm reception from the crowd here. 4 athletes have been. We have 4 to go in this individual hoop final. Being introduced to the crowd now, making her way onto the floor. Fanny Pisnicki from Hungary, from Budapest, 22 years old.
Look on the floor and all is spinning round. Someone told me this was just a dance, and take a chance and met before. Do you think I really have a chance? Look on the floor and all is spinning round. Someone told me this was just a dance, and take a chance ain't met before. Do you think I really have a chance?
Well, always successful, the Hungarian rhythmic gymnastics team. And a very nice performance from her there. I really like the contrast that she showed in the middle of the performance, and the way the whole thing really flowed together very, very nicely indeed. Very impressive split leaps as well. About halfway through, so we get a chance to look at it again with a few of the illusion turns. Really good balance here. Focus. Incredibly difficult to do. To think about the body control, the difficulty, the execution, the artistry, and all that, and keep the hoop in control so you know exactly where it is all the time, and she did that remarkably well. She qualified in 5th place with 32.80. So what did the judges think of that performance?
We await the score for the Hungarian controlled routine. It's wonderful artistry and finesse in there as well. 2nd place, 33.650. Raffaele sees off challenger. And this next athlete will get a very warm reception once she's introduced. Vita Griskenes from the USA. 21 years old, a student at Columbia University in New York. She's studying psychology, and she gets her routine underway in the finals.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. A 7-nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I catch you coming round my way. I'm gonna serve it to you. And that ain't what you wanna hear, but that's what I'll do. And the feeling coming from my butt says I'm
Well, it's never easy going out in front of a home crowd, the expectation. Sometimes it can really lift you, but it does give that extra little bit of nerves as well, it can. But overall, it was a good performance. Unfortunately, she did drop the hoop, as you could see. But the leaps on there were absolutely fantastic, and it does always surprise me when they do drop the apparatus, just how quickly they get back into the performance and carry on as if nothing has gone wrong at all, and carry on, and the rest of it was all pretty good. But those are the leaps I was talking about. I mean, way past that split position, head right back, showing the arch in the back as well, and really good use of the body there. Lovely balance here. And the crowd, well, they really appreciated the performance. And unfortunately, this is where it all went wrong.
The crowd were really encouraging her throughout the performance, very engaged with it. She did well to recover on losing the apparatus. Her personality really shone through, I felt, in that routine. Worked well with the choice of music as well. And into 5th place, 29.600. So Raffaele still leads. Nikki in 2nd for Hungary. Medineva from Slovenia still sitting in the bronze medal position. Next up, from Azerbaijan, Zora Akhamirova, I do apologise, Akhamirova, 20-year-old from Baku in Azerbaijan. Qualified in 8th place.
she qualified in 8th place, but that really was quite a dramatic performance. I thought her timing was really good, and the speed that she had on some of the pirouettes as well was very strong indeed. She started out originally doing acrobatics, and that's probably where some of her power comes from. And then she moved to rhythmic after seeing it on television. Says that she likes to listen a lot and not talk as much, which I think we could all learn something from that, really, couldn't we?
Good advice.
Really good advice.
You called it. Quite a lot of intensity in that routine. Very dramatic, and she's done so well to get through into the finals here, and I hope that this performance gives her a lot of confidence. I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Really kick on from here at this level, at world level.
I like some of the extra little touches she had as well, which will help with the artistry score, with the choreography. Just extra little things that you're not expecting. Always good to put into the performance. The timing there was really good. She didn't look very happy with it at the end, did she?
Perfectionist, perhaps, but now she's smiling as the judges do their work. A lot to be proud of today with that qualifying performance and performance in finals, and she goes into 4th place, 31.450, just outside the medals. What a great show from her in finals, and now we move on to the last competitor from Bulgaria, making her way onto the floor. Oriana Kalin, 5th in the individual all-round at Tokyo 2020. 21-year-old from Sofia, out of the famous Levski Sporting Club. Last competitor in these individual hoop finals.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the keeper of the keys, the countess of the clink, the mistress of Murderers Row, Matron Mama Morton.
Don't you know that this hand washes that one too? When you're good to mama, mama's good to So what's the one conclusion I can bring this number to? When you're good to mama, mama's
Wow. What a charismatic, absolutely brilliant, fun routine that was. She qualified in 1st place, and she really didn't let the nerves get to her at all. She came out here, it was almost like showtime. As soon as she got onto the floor, it was like an exhibition of rhythmic gymnastics, and she didn't show any nerves at all. Absolutely brilliant performance, and the speed of some of these pirouettes was absolutely beautiful. She's really come on a lot over the last few years. She participated at the World Games last time when it was held in 2017, and finished 9th in the hoop then. And here she is, qualified in 1st place. Will it be enough to keep her in that 1st place? Her score was 35.400. More recently as well, she's won bronze at the European Championships, which was very recently in Tel Aviv. So somebody who is really excelling at sport. Had to overreach there just a little bit to make sure she caught the hoop, but what an absolutely magical performance there.
A real show put on by Oriana Kalin from Brazil. As you were saying, Andrea, over the past 5 years since the last World Games, she's really just step by step working her way up to become one of the elite in the world. So much of her personality, of her character, shone through the routine, had a little bit of everything in it, and she worked so well with the music. And she goes into top spot, 34.400. Judges absolutely loving that routine. The highest artistic score that we've had. The execution, 8.6 as well. So she will walk away with the gold medal. Oriana Kalin from Bulgaria. A well-earned silver for Sofia Raffaelli of Italy, and bronze going to Hungary. Annie Piznicki. And Andrea, that was a real treat, a wonderful final.
It really was. We were very, very lucky to have been able to see that. The standard was incredibly high. The scores are very close, as you can see on the screen, as we look at all of the final standings. Disappointment for the ones towards the bottom, but at least they qualified for the finals, and for some of them, that's athletes really coming here for the first time and taking part in this rhythmic gymnastics, and fantastic experience for them at this superb venue. As we get the chance to see the start list, so we will have the Italian Milena Baldassari starting us off shortly.
She is just making her way onto the floor, the 21-year-old from Ravenna in Italy. Competed at Tokyo 2020. Italian was 6th in the individual all-round, and she will kick off the individual ball finals.
The owner and the manager went walking through paradise, and all the shelves were filled with awards and achievements. And on every corner a power presentation, and on every floor an army of workers. The owner and the manager went walking through paradise, and all their charts showed so much promise and progress. No sick days, no snow days, no unions, no taxes. And they wandered towards home, kings of their castles. What a strange, strange world we live in, where the good are damned and the wicked forgiven. What a strange, strange world we live in. Those who don't have lose, those who got get given. More, 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 more. More, 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 more. More, more, more.
Really lovely control of the apparatus. I was very, very impressed once again with the split leaps, head right back, almost touching the leg, and the attitude pirouette during at the beginning was very impressive as well. Good interpretation to the music. Obviously a very different type of apparatus to the one we were looking at before with the hoop. And what's important here is that they don't clench the ball. It should just be sitting in the palm of their hand, and it shouldn't really go onto the forearm too much. So that's something to look out for. And also that they don't have to reach too far to collect the apparatus after they've thrown it into the air. And that sometimes can be quite difficult because even things like air conditioning in a venue can affect the way the apparatus reacts when it is thrown into the air. But she seemed to have complete control of it then, and that was a really great start for her. 32.0 was her qualification score. She was actually the first Italian rhythmic gymnast to win at least a silver medal in an individual event, which she won at the World Championships back in 2018.
So score for Baldassarri from Italy. 31.450. That sets the benchmark for the remaining 7 gymnasts. Fanny Kuznicki from Hungary will be next to go. She's already got a bronze medal. There is the confirmation of the score for Baldassarri from Italy.
Well, another fine performance there. She certainly had a busy day, having competed in the hoop as well. Nice and centred on the pirouettes. A lot of firsts today, really, because talking about the Italian being the first Italian rhythmic gymnast to win at least a silver medal. Fanny Kuznicki, she was the first Hungarian gymnast to compete at the Olympic Games at Tokyo since 2000, when Victoria Freiter was there. So it was fantastic for her to qualify for the Olympics. She says what she does is she just pretends that she's still in training and that she's not actually in the competition at all, and that keeps the pressure off her to make sure that she qualifies. But really good control of the apparatus. Just a couple of little overreaches and a couple of times just maybe not being as centred as she could have done in the first half of the performance. But I'm talking minute details here. Other than that, it was really, really nicely controlled. It just didn't look quite as clean as I've seen her do it before. But certainly mastered this apparatus beautifully and seemed very, very confident. There was no question that she was going to lose the ball. Good performance there. Qualification score 32.450.
Smile and a wave from the Hungarian. Will she be walking away with 2 medals? 32.550 into top spots. Anyone who are ahead of that? Well, the next competitor that we will see on the floor, gold medalist from the hoop final just about 40 minutes or 45 minutes or so ago. Boriana Kalin from Bulgaria.
When you were here before, you couldn't look you in the eye. You're just like an angel. Your skin makes me cry. You're so very special. Yeah, I wish I was special. But I'm a creep. What the hell am I doing
Well, the lyric says she wishes she was special. Well, we all think she is a very special gymnast indeed, a very elegant gymnast as well. Sadly, it wasn't one of her best performances, having dropped and lost control of the ball a couple of times, which will be a big disappointment for her, obviously. But well, I used the word elegant before, and that's how I always think of her. Just such beautiful arms right through to the very fingertips, end of the fingertips, and lovely extension in those legs and feet, and beautiful turns. The attitude pirouette. Here, keeping in control. You could see from the expression on her face there, just couldn't quite hold on to it. But a very difficult move that, because it was out of her line of sight. So had it worked, it would have really helped towards the difficulty score. But unfortunately, because she dropped the ball, then it won't be counted. The way it really flowed, and that in position almost sums up how she probably felt about the performance as well. But smiling as she walked off, which was nice to see, and already, as Ian was saying, very successful, having taken a gold in the hoop earlier.
I wonder if already has that gold medal from this session, and maybe a bit of pressure's off, and look, just one or two lapses of concentration, but of course she takes lots of risks into third place, 31.150. She was the top qualifier for these finals, but it will be tough to stay in that bronze medal position with that 5 athletes still to go. Next up from Romania is Annalise Dragan. She qualified in 6th place with a score of 30.750. Romanian, just 16 years old. Originally born in the USA. Took up the sport in 2012, and here she goes in the ball final.
sometimes a routine doesn't have to be the most difficult to make it a really special routine. And I thought that was really beautiful. I love the interpretation, the way she put it over, and the timing with the music. It really was spot on. She's done incredibly well to qualify for the finals here. She finished 31st with the ball at the World Championships last year. So she's made massive improvements over the last year. Finished 10th as well in the World Cup earlier this year when that was held in Athens. So really, really good to see her in this final today and getting the experience at 16 years of age in a senior competition. Absolutely fantastic. Sister Christina is also a rhythmic gymnast as well. So no doubt they spend an awful lot of time training together and encouraging each other and supporting each other.
A really lovely routine, doing the basics very well. And sometimes that can impress the judges, and she handled the pressure well at 16 years old. Control with the apparatus. The weight score for the judges. Pisnicki leads 32.550. Aldasari still in second, 31.450. And then from Bulgaria in third, 31.150. And it's fourth place for Annalise Dragan from Romania, 31 the score. Next onto the floor will be Teresa Rospi from Spain, 17 years old, from Vitoria-Gasteiz. She spends a lot of time, 3 days of ballet, 3 days of physical training, so a lot of time in ballet, and I wonder if we'll see that ballet influence in this routine as she takes to the floor.
Well, the crowd really got behind her, didn't they? You could really hear them giving her support and appreciating some of the difficulty that she had in there as well, particularly catching the ball between her knees. It was a very good performance from her. Overall, good execution. And a big hug from her coach there. Thought her body alignment was absolutely beautiful. A couple of times maybe just a little bit of extra reach that she had to do to make sure that she did catch that all-important apparatus. But I really like the interpretation to the music, especially the beginning of it. I think because we'd been talking about it being balletic and everything, I thought it was going to be a bit more classical. And then when she started, I mean, you can really see the balletic movements coming out here. But there were some quite nice cheeky little movements in it as well. This was just lovely. That balance, the core strength that you need to be able to do that takes many, many, many hours of practice. They really are exceptional gymnasts, being able to do all that and control the apparatus as well. It's unbelievable, really. Again, she did seem to like catching the ball between the knees. All adds to the variety of the performance.
She's done so well to make it through into these finals. A lot of confidence to take from her performance here, whatever the score is. And she goes into 5th place, 30.850. And if you're hearing the noise levels increase in the Legacy Arena, next athlete, Billy Mizuno from the USA, 21 years old, is about to take to the floor. Did compete at Tokyo 2020. 11th in the group all round, not making it through to the finals. Here she goes.
Well, a beautiful pose to finish. Disappointment for her, though. There's a slight loss of control of the apparatus, and I think it did just go over the line as well, which could mean a deduction of 0.3 for that. Other than that, though, I thought her posture, her pose throughout was absolutely beautiful. Lovely original choreography, which really, really suited her. She's such a fabulous gymnast to watch. I always feel so disappointed for them when you know that they can do it so much better and it just doesn't come off on the day. But as I've said before, it is a risk sport, and all of these gymnasts have had performances that they are delighted with. That stag leap was really nice. But sadly, the loss of the apparatus. Yeah, a lot of these gymnasts have had apparatus that they like particularly. They always have their favourites, and some of them have performances they're extremely proud of, and others that they would prefer to forget and move on to the next time. She is so nice to watch, absolutely beautiful.
Such a shame that she lost control of the apparatus so early in the routine as well, but she was encouraged by the crowd, and I thought she did settle into the routine as it progressed and was able to regain her composure well. A shame the big mistake came almost right at the beginning, and I think it may have just snuck over the line as well, Andrea, but we will see, because the score is coming in now. Just waiting on the official confirmation of the score. There it is, 29.650. Yeah, the 0.3 penalty. The ball did go out over the line, so into 6th place. We move on to Daria Atamanov from Israel. 16 years old. We saw her earlier on in the hoop final, so great achievement to make it through to 2 finals. And here she goes in the ball final, the penultimate athlete.
Écoutez-moi, moi la chanteuse à demi. Parlez de moi, à vos amours, à vos amis. Parlez-leur de cette fille aux yeux noirs et de son rêve fou. Moi ce que je veux, c'est écrire des histoires qui arrivent jusqu'à vous. C'est tout. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Me voilà même si mise à nu j'ai peur. Oui, me voilà dans le bruit et dans le silence. Voilà, 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 voilà qui je suis. Me voilà même si mise à nu c'est fini. Me voilà dans le bruit et dans la fureur aussi. Regardez-moi enfant, et mes yeux et mes mains, tout ce que j'ai est ici. C'est ma gueule, c'est mon cri. Me voilà, me voilà, me voilà,
Well, you can hear from the crowd what everybody thought of that performance. I really loved the change in tempo. I thought it was really creative and quite exquisite with the interpretation. She was really out there telling a story, and that story was interpreted in her facial expression as well. I really, really liked the choreography. Very slight loss of balance on a couple of times, but apart from that, what a lovely performance that was from her. Just 16 years of age. She started rhythmic gymnastics at the age of 7 and is an incredible gymnast. Won 5 medals at the European Championships recently. To come from her, I'm sure. It was a stunning performance. So much speed on some of those rotations.
Really lovely routine. Just 16 years old, so much composure. She's an athlete that can handle the pressure being in these finals and really deliver her best when it counts. Ended up finishing in 6th though in the hoop final. I've got a feeling it may be a little better here, but we'll see what the judges think of it there. Exquisite, as you said, Andrea. And 34.9, she's into top spot and is guaranteed a medal. There's just one athlete to go, and the Israeli delegation support, cheer her on. Will walk away with a medal and a look of relief, a big smile, and a wonderful career that she already has got just that little bit better here in Birmingham at Birmingham 2022. So we're on to the final competitor, Sofia Raffaelli from Italy. Silver medalist in the hoop a little earlier. She qualified in second place earlier on today. The last gymnast who can change the podium positions around here in the individual ball final.
If you held your breath on me, you would have died a million times. And if Chewie was to show me how much you care, you'd probably swallow your tongue by now. You turn around, march on to your new home. Oh. Wherever you're gone, darling, please don't you ever forget to treat others the way you want to be treated. March on. So long you
Well, a really wonderful display there. Absolutely magnificent. So expressive. The crowd loved it. We loved it. Absolutely brilliant. I don't think she could have done much more. So it's going to be very close indeed as to what the scores are. She did score 33.6 in qualification, but I thought that was a really tremendous performance from her there. She did take the silver medal at the European Championships recently in the ball. So she is very, very confident with this piece of apparatus. In fact, she's very confident across all apparatus, really. And I just love to watch her.
What a truly wonderful routine. Who'd want to be a judge right now? We've been treated. Fantastic ball final here. Back at slow-mo replay, the laser-like focus and concentration that you need to be successful in this sport. And Raffaelli did not put a foot wrong. The timing, absolutely spot on. So expressive, as you said, Andrea. Absolutely wonderful. Looking at the current positions on the scoreboard, Tamanov with that 34.9, but she did have a penalty, 0.05. Now that could come into things in terms of how these scores shake down. I think it's going to be very close here, Andrea.
The 0.05 penalty is likely to be something to do with the music being slightly too short or slightly too long. For 1 second.
Well, Raffaelli already has a medal, and she gets another silver medal, 33.550 the score. So 2 silver medals for Sofia Raffaelli. And it is Daria Atamanov from Israel who walks away with the gold medal in the individual hoop. Raffaelli, as we've just seen, taking the silver, and it's a pair of bronze medals for Fanny Bignicki from Hungary. Quick thoughts on what we've just seen there, Andrea?
Oh, absolutely incredible. The standard was so high. And Daria Atamanov, well, that was incredible for her to come up and take the gold. I mean, she really moved her score forward, 31.950 in qualification, up to 34.9 in final. It just shows just how much she can raise her game when she really, really needs to when it comes to the podium places. But altogether, absolutely fantastic final with 8 brilliant performances.
Real.
Every night and every day, I try to make you stay. For sure, savage love. Did somebody break your heart? Looking like an angel, but you're savage love. When you kiss me, I know you don't get to, but I still want that. You're savage love. You're savage love, love, love. You're savage love, love, love. You can use me, 'cause I still want that. You're savage love. You're savage love, love, love. You're savage love, love, love. You can use me. Savage love. Get somebody break your heart. Looking like an angel, but you're savage love. When you kiss me, I know you don't get to, but I still want that. You're savage love. You're savage love, love, love. You're savage love, love, love.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back along to the Legacy Arena for the medal
Here
ceremonies.
next, the World Games 2022 Birmingham presents the medal ceremony of rhythmic gymnastics hoop. Please welcome the medalists.
Your athletes and dignitaries make their way to the podium. The ceremony for the women's individual hoop.
The medals will be presented by Lili Leong, Executive Committee Member, International Gymnastics Federation. Accompanied by Maria Manova, Technical Committee Member, Rhythmic Gymnastics International Gymnastics Federation. Bronze medal representing Hungary, Fanny Pignevsky.
Ignaski with a great performance in the individual hoop competition. 33.650. Her score to take the bronze medal home to Hungary.
Such a special moment for her. She likes to focus as if she was just training, and it seems to work for her, standing on this podium at the World Games.
Silver medal representing Italy, Sofia Raffaelli.
Pair of silver medals for Raffaelli here at the Legacy Arena. 34.350 her score.
European champion, and now taking a silver medal at this World Games.
Gold medal and the World Games 2022 champion representing Bulgaria, Mariana Kalin.
Mariana Kalin with a special performance with the hoop to take the gold just ahead of Raffaelli. Wonderful display of artistic skills. She worked so well with the music. It was a magnificent performance from her to take the gold.
Certainly was. 9th in 2017, and now here taking the gold.
The anthem of Bulgaria.
I have the Bulgarian national anthem. special moment for the 21-year-old from
The World
Sofia,
Games 2022
taking home the gold medalist in the individual hoop. Congratulations, of course, to Raffaele and Wisnicki as well. We'll see them in the podium ceremony for the ball finals as well. But it is gold going to Bulgaria.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay with us. Coming right up, aerobic gymnastics mixed pair medals.
Well, Andrea, as the athletes make their way off the floor, we prepare for the next medals.
Have to arrive after the opening ceremony or leave before it. But as we move on to the next medal ceremony now.
An individual ball ceremony will be up next, and it was the last event of the session and was truly magnificent. Another close contest. Sofia Raffaele was the athlete, finished in second place, 33.550. It was all eyes on her as she was the last to go. Not able to do quite enough, despite a magnificent routine. It was the athlete from Israel that finished on the top step of the podium, Daria Atamanov, and she did not put a foot wrong in the contest. Exceptional performance, 34.900 for Atamanov. And she will make her way out along with Wisnicki of Hungary and Raffaele of Italy, have both already picked up medals
2022 Birmingham
already
presents the
today.
medal ceremony of rhythmic gymnastics ball. Please welcome the medalists.
Medalists back out, and Raffaele and Wisnicki know the drill.
The medals will be presented by Isabel Sawadi, Vice President, Rhythmic Gymnastics Technical Committee, International Gymnastics Federation, accompanied by Natalia Bulanov, Technical Committee Member, Rhythmic Gymnastics International Gymnastics Federation. Bronze medal representing Hungary, Fiona Pignitsky.
What a night for the Hungarian. 2 bronze medals. That is a good day's work for her. Congratulations to Fanny Wisnicki.
Yes, absolutely superb performance for the 22-year-old. Another medal to add to the collection.
Come back out after already knowing she had the
Silver
bronze medal in the bag, and
Italy,
pick up another one.
Valeria Balassari.
Fantastic achievement. Raffaele has really delighted the fans here in Birmingham with her performances in the hoop and then the ball. She had a lot of pressure as the last to go in the ball final, but she delivered. 33.550, bit of distance between second and third.
It was such an expressive performance, wasn't it?
Her character really shining through.
Gold medal and the World
the
Games
final.
2022 champion, representing Israel, Daria Atamanov.
Atamanov from Israel, the gold medalists, and we were all in awe of her performance with the ball. 34.900, the highest artistic mark, the highest execution as well.
Yeah, the performance, it really told a story, didn't it? The interpretation to the music was absolutely exquisite.
She's getting so much support from the delegation
Ladies and
from
gentlemen,
Israel.
the anthem of
And
Israel.
a nice moment now for the 16-year-old from Israel as her national anthem will play. The European champion is now the World Games champion. Atamanov, 16 years old. Andrea, she just looks like she's taking it all in her stride.
She does, doesn't she? So mature for her age. And I just absolutely love to watch her and look forward to continuing to watch her in the future. She has so much more to give, only 16 years of age.
Yeah, we'll be keeping an eye on her as she progresses and her career develops, certainly towards the next